Hey YouTube, how's it going? For today's video, I want to talk a little bit about competitive games. I'm obviously playing one because games like this really bring out, I think, the worst in people. I mean, they definitely bring out a bad side of me, but they do that to a lot of people. Like, this isn't something specific to me. Yeah, hell no, I'm not going there. I don't know why, and I want to ask, like, do they with you? And why do you think that is, and is there anything we can do about it? As a game developer, designer, what can you do around toxic people? Because obviously there's chat logs, and you can report chat and stuff, but in a game with voice chat, like, I could just hop on the mic and tell these people, hey, you know, you're absolute garbage. Whatever, XYZ insults. I mean, this guy's name is I'm Trash, which is probably just from being harassed and being called trash that he named himself that. And so, it's obviously a problem. So, what can we do about it? As a developer working on a game, and why do you think that is? That games like this just bring out the toxic side of people. I mean, I usually don't start, and I'll never, like, you know, just blatantly insult someone who's done nothing. It's either they're talking, or they'll criticize me first, or something along those lines, and so I'll respond. But there are people that obviously start, and, you know, I won't claim total innocence. There's definitely been times where I've probably started, in just like a heat of the moment thing. And, you know, what can be done about that? Because I don't think there's much that can be, because it's just the nature of being competitive. Some people are more competitive than others. Some people want to win more than others. I just heard this guy. But are there systems we can, like, implement as game developers, or things we could do to our games to make them less generally toxic? So obviously some developers have gone the route of removing scoreboards, so you can't say, hey, you're on the bottom of the scoreboard. No shit, you're like, of course I'm better than you. And so that's like one thing, but I don't think that works, because people have egos. Usually it's like really bad people that are starting the shit talk.
Fortunately, radar shows time's close.
Like, it's never like someone like Asu or like an extremely good player that's like, yo, listen, you're absolute garbage, you need to stop playing. It's always someone who's like maybe halfway decent, but then it's hiding from me. Come on.
I can see throwing thermite grenade. Arc star out.
These guys are not peeking me, it's very annoying.
Recharging. Grenade. Giving my weapons a recharge. I have fallen. Reloading.
This is gonna be bad.
Incoming care package. I love loot.
Got a bandit.
Watch out for the new kill leader, friend.
Trying to remain silent so they can't hear me. Oh, there's another team coming, I think.
Giving my shields a
So these guys haven't said anything. But it's entirely possible that they might. I hope this guy's running into an area where I can actually get his banner decently safely.
Half the squads remain. Repairing. I am repairing myself.
And so, I know, like, League of Legends disabled all chat to attempt to prevent it.
Got our friend's banner. This is great. Picked up our friend's banner.
But what else, like, is there that you can possibly do to, I guess, curb it?
Setting up a zip line.
I don't know, like, Overwatch tried the honor system. League of Legends sort of has their own honor system. But people do kind of abuse these systems, as in, like, they'll always... I don't know, like, there really is no, like, perfect way to make a system that can't be, you know, in quotes, exploited by, people who aren't actually acting honorably, receiving honor in some way. Maybe you could do exclusive skins for people who are reported by a significant number of people as being, you know, a positive influence. It's something you could do. I don't know if any of these games have tried it, but I'm sure there'd be some manipulation going on to say, you know, oh, yo, or like people making Discord servers for just honoring other people and being like, join this if you see any of these people, you know, honor them, let's get our skins, etc. You know, you're never gonna totally get rid of that, but you can make it hard for people to try to exploit your system. I think it's doable. Maybe like not easily doable, but I think it's doable to make a system that's you can't really exploit to
Evo shield here, level 2.
and that the goal of the game isn't just to win, it's to also be honored by your teammates as a positive influence. And by doing so, you receive in-game, exclusive in-game rewards, things you can't get from anywhere else. I think there's people here. There were people here. So, I don't know, what other ideas do you have? Like, what else would be a cool idea for something besides just, like, in-game cosmetic shit? Or some type of reward for people for not being toxic assholes to each other. But I definitely think what League of Legends did with removing all chat was a bad way to do it, because I've made, like... You know, you can banter in all chat. Like, have you ever watched Dota tournaments? Like, these guys are toxic, or not toxic. They banter like crazy back and forth to each other. And it's fun. It's, like, fun for the spectators. And it's done usually lighthearted. Sometimes it goes a bit far. But for the most part, you know, no one's holding grudges. No one's going on Twitter crusades to get their fans against some other set of fans. Not that I know of. I know fighting games are a lot like this too, because you're literally sitting next to the person. You can, there's so many videos and clips of people like flipping
Might
off
be
the
good to watch
person
right here.
next
I'll
to
do
them or something at like a fighting game tournament. There's tons of examples of that.
it. Hostile spotted.
And so,
Who wants to fly?
you know, I don't think removing enemy interaction, you know, prevents toxicity. It's always I think friendly. It's team chat that should be removed, not all chat. Because, you know, a lot of the toxicity, it's your teammates. Like, I always feel bad for, and this, you know, you could take this take however, whatever way you want, but I always feel bad for women in games that, like, have to deal with just these toxic idiots
We're
where
already inside the next.
they'll reach for any excuse for why they lost that isn't their fault. And if it's a woman, that's just, like, an easy thing for them to target. Not because they are worse, but because it's just a difference between them and you, if you are a woman, that they can just say. And the truth and validity of it doesn't matter. It's just, you are a woman, and that's a difference between us, so that's something I could say. So, yeah, like, I think it's teammates being toxic the vast majority of the time.
Target spotted.
But, yeah, so what can we do to encourage teammates, or maybe not encourage friendliness, reduce toxicity, because there could be different solutions to either of those. You know, depending.
There's a clue.
Stop shooting at me. There's definitely differences between the two, between reducing toxicity and encouraging positivity. Because you could discourage toxicity by saying, like, every time you get reported, you know, every game you play, you build reputation for some cosmetic reward or something. And for every time you get reported, it reduces that. So, that could be abused. Like, if people just don't like you. Or, you know, that could obviously be easily abused. Where it's not genuine reports of toxicity. So it can't be like you're guaranteed to get it and then it can get taken away, because that's like a toxic mentality where it could be taken from you rather than given to you. Whereas being given to you is people going out of their way to say you were helpful or positive or not toxic.
Contact with target.
And so, you know, that's people are gonna give you honor.
Fire, friends. Reloading. Recharging shield.
Let's get you
So,
over, huh?
I think that's something that's doable.
Reloading.
I don't know what this guy said. We're just typing. He just said nah repeatedly. That was a very weird fight. We had the one guy running away, but then my teammates engaged in someone else. That was just a bad game. So, an honor system like Overwatch had, but it needs to give you something tangible and exclusive, I think, is definitely something that can reward positivity rather than... I guess that's the thing. We need to reward positivity. Encourage people to be more positive. And you have to give people something. You can't just banning people doesn't work. They just make new accounts. You know, I got banned in League of Legends a bunch of times. That didn't stop me whenever my teammate did something very stupid and then yelled at me from talking back to them. Never stopped me. And punishment systems like that often pop. At least, like, League has a very. I won't get too into it, but it has a big history of people. You know, somebody can intentionally feed, but as long as they don't type in chat, they don't get punished. I need to mute these people. As long as they didn't type in chat, they could intentionally feed, they could grief, they could do X, Y, Z. But because there's so many games of League of Legends, no human or group of humans could possibly parse through their entire gameplay to figure out if they were actually griefing or not, because they didn't type in chat. Whereas looking through a chat log is very easy. Most people don't type more than, like that guy typed one thing in the game. Looking through a single chat log of just one guy, like, that's just pretty easy. Yeah, that sounds pretty quick. Or one guy, or say all the chat logs from that game you can just read through in like, what, like a couple. You could probably get through like 10 of them in a short amount of time. So that's why
And we have one other squad.
Here I go.
yeah, that's why like people, anything that requires a lot of humans
I'm going to watch that spot.
to review it is just not gonna work.
Beginning ring countdown.
Buenos dias. We need to get inside the ring.
Company.
Pronto.
Guy working y'all's way.
Oh my god, I'm awful.
Oh, I'm lit up.
Recharging shield.
Hit 70, some flesh.
Someone else is over there. Grenade! Go, 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 go!
Need to finish healing. Oh, yeah. That was dumb, dude. I don't know why that guy was taking the fight in the corner. That. And then that guy swung so wide on him. I mean, I screwed up the first fight, but then the other guy just got lit up out in the wide open for no reason. So, yeah, it can't be something, it needs to be an automated system, and it needs exclusive things that you can only get from people going out of their way to say nice things to you, and that's hard to do. It's hard to get people to do it. Like anyone who's made a product or provided a service that wants reviews knows that's hard to get people to go out of their way to leave a positive review, even if they enjoyed themselves. Like, I'll go to a restaurant sometimes. Could be the best, fantastic experience, excellent waiters, food delicious. But I'm not gonna write a review. That's just, it's not part of my personality. But so, as a developer, you need to make tools like that easy. It'd be easy to, you know, just highlight over this guy here and say,
I cannot wait to
you know, this guy, thumbs up, very nice guy. And then just a series of positive different affirmations, like good teammate. Even if they didn't communicate, like I've had people like thank me because in that situation, like I tried to come back to help the lifeline. You didn't play with me in that regard, but like in the previous game, early in that, I saved the 2 banners, and I've had people, you know, thank me, like, oh, you're my hero, and I didn't say a word. I just played with them silently. So, you know, you could say good communication if it's someone making call. It's like, there's a guy on you. Whereas me, like, pinging there's a guy on you or responding to it without saying it is being a good teammate, but it's not,
I say we land here.
not like communicative. So, I think Overwatch had the right idea, but I think the rewards were just shitty. They, like, weren't worth it, the honor system in that game. And I think you should give people the option to give varying levels, and then you have to have an automated system to weed out. I don't know why we're going here. There's 2 other teams. This is a terrible drop.
Let's
here.
explore this way.
Yeah, so you need to, like, if there's one guy who's giving everyone, like, 5-star reviews, if you wanted to have a tier system to it. That's obviously not good. And so you need to have an automated system that looks into...
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Alright, how often is this person giving reviews? Or giving feedback on somebody? And... is it always the same? If someone's always giving 5 stars to almost every teammate, we should probably not count theirs very much.
Level 2. Got a rampage here.
And if they give it very infrequently, but give 5 stars to a teammate, we should weight that very highly. So, those are the kind of things you need to think of when you make a system like this. But I think those would actually be good. Like, if I wanted to be nice to my teammates... Why? Ugh. I don't agree with this at all. Oops.
Let's go this way.
Copy that. Hey, a champion just fell.
And I know it sounds like I'm being toxic, but I'm not cueing the microphone, I'm not typing to them, so that's just my thought process sometimes when playing with random people. But, like... Yeah, like, I would want... If I knew there was a skin, like, that's a sick-ass skin, you know, I'm gonna try to be nice to people. And... You know, I don't talk very much in these games, but I want... I'm gonna take that and this, and then all the energy ammo. That would make me go out of my way to be nice. Or really want to get those rewards from being nice to people.
Enemy spotted. Hostile over there. Ready to fly on his
And I think that'd be a good system. Like, pretty much the honor system, except,
Grenade out.
firing.
Ring's not far. Frag out.
Thermite grenade out. I killed an enemy.
I shouldn't push any further.
Done.
Reloading.
We've got 30 seconds. If you go down, I'm not carrying you.
But yeah, so what do you think? Is there a system you've had in mind? Maybe a game has not implemented? What do you think?
Seconds until the ring closes.
Attention.
Grab what you need
There
and
is
let's
a
go.
new kill leader.
New kill leader. Heads up.
Yeah, so, you know, I'll probably just let this run, let this game play out,
Warning. Ring movement in progress.
I can see
and
that
then
the ring's moving
call it
on
on
the map.
that, but... Yeah, I don't know, like, what do you think is the most toxic you've ever been in a game, and what do you think brought you to that point where, you know, you boiled over on people?
My shields are recharged.
For me, my personal triggers, whenever
Open up
I know I played well, or I was trying to do something very well, and my teammates are toxic to me when they've made glaringly obvious mistakes. That is a huge trigger for me. I get so pissed
You are coming home with me tonight.
when that happens to me. Like, I'm very
Fire,
self-reflective,
friends.
in all honesty. It might not sound like it from the... But I know I've made mistakes in this game and the previous game.
Enemy over there. I wonder what they found.
And I'm very aware of that. I know I did wrong. Fuck, I can't see this guy.
I have eyes on the enemy. One down. Recharging shields.
Like, that chase was really bad. I could have played that much better, and I'm aware of that. And so if someone told me like I played that bad, I'd actually be fine with that, because I did, in all honesty, play that bad. But you know, when I know I played like very well, like if I had cut off all their rotations on that, down them, and then like I got sniped by another team and then we lose the fight, I would have been pissed, but I wouldn't say anything to these people unless they blamed me for the fight, for losing the fight, which, you know, that is just, there's no way.
Target over there.
There's absolutely, like, no way I would accept responsibility for that.
Recharging shields.
Enemy taken down.
Like, I think I played that
Watch out.
decently well. This guy could have nuked me beforehand, but... But, you know, I think it was decently played. But what are your personal triggers? I know some people... I guess it depends on the game. So for me, in Rocket League, that's when someone plays extremely impatient, and then we get scored on, because...
Hostile spotted. Firing.
Hold on, I need to heal.
Sorry. We end up getting scored on because all they had to do was literally just like wait their turn, but they couldn't.
Watch out, enemy there.
Grappling.
And that's a fucking giant pet peeve when people do that shit. And in Apex, it's when like I'll head into a fight,
Round 2. Beginning
Target
ring
spotted.
countdown.
down like one or two of them,
Long way to the next.
and then
Lots of ground means lots of treasure.
and then my teammates don't follow up. They don't
Delivering replicator.
even go for like a revive. They just like run away.
Repairing.
That really gets me mad in this game.
Hostile over there.
Gotta heal. Taking a knee. Enemy out.
And I'll get mad at myself a lot of times, and like I try not to project that on others, but like sometimes like I know I fucked up and I know I could have played better. And knowing that bothers me. But I really do
Opening fire on the enemy.
genuinely try not to
They're shooting at me.
Healing up. Give me a sec.
Reloading.
push that onto other people.
Recharging my shields.
What the fuck is going on over here? Jesus.
Giving my
Oh, this guy's dead.
No good. I've been down.
Oh god.
Reloading. Enemy down.
Last one. I'm down.
Really, I can't believe that guy walked around like that. Yeah, so that's the video. You know, those are some peeves of mine. What are yours? And what do you think of like systems like that we could possibly do to encourage positivity? Maybe not reduce toxicity, because you'll never get rid of it. It's a competitive game. Oh, it's a competitive game. You'll never completely get rid of it. So we could try to encourage people to be positive rather than reduce the toxicity, which I think is the direction League of Legends wanted to go, and you could probably tell from the community backlash, probably the wrong decision. Let me know what you think. See you next time.